Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're not just going to talk about making single items. We're going to talk about building entire kits, whole sets of things that are guaranteed to work together. We'll be looking at a really cool design pattern that makes this whole process a lot easier.
So let's just jump right in. Have you ever been in that situation where you don't just need one little piece, but you need a whole family of pieces, and they all have to match perfectly? Where if you grab the wrong one, the whole thing just breaks? Yeah, that's exactly the problem we're going to solve today.
And to make this super clear, we're going to start with a story, a simple, real-world example. Let's call this chapter 1 a tale of two very different factories.
Okay, so imagine you're building a house, right? And for this house, you need a nice, classic wooden door. Pretty straightforward. You know what you want?
But here's the thing. The door isn't going to hang itself. For a wooden door, you need a very specific kind of expert. You need a carpenter. See how they're connected? The door and the expert, they're a matching pair.
Now what if the plan changes? Maybe you want something a bit more modern, a bit more heavy-duty. You decide to go with an iron door instead.
Well, you're not going to call the same person for the job, are you? A carpenter isn't going to be much help with an iron door. This new door has its own unique partner. It needs a welder to install it correctly.
And this right here really lays out the whole problem. On one side, you've got your wood kit, the wooden door and the carpenter. On the other, the iron kit, the iron door and the welder. The most important rule here is that you can never mix and match these. You can't have a carpenter installing an iron door. So the real question is, how do we design a system that makes sure we always get the right expert for the right door every single time?
Well, that problem brings us right to our solution. This is chapter 2. What we need is a bigger plan, a kind of master blueprint that manages all these little kits for us and stops any mix-ups from ever happening.
And this blueprint has a name, the abstract factory. Now, the official definition calls it a factory of factories, which sounds a little complicated, but it's not. Think about it like this. Instead of going to a specific door shop, you go to a general contractor. You just tell that contractor the theme you're going for, like, hey, I'm doing a wood theme today, and they handle getting you the right door, the right expert, the whole shebang.
And here's how simple that makes everything. First, you just pick your master factory. Let's call it the all-wood shop. Then you make some really generic requests. You just say, give me a door, and give me an expert. And this is where the magic happens. Because the shop's theme is wood, it automatically hands you a wooden door and a carpenter. It's a guaranteed matching set. If you had picked the ironworks instead, you would have gotten an iron door and a welder. See? No way to mess it up.
All right, that sounds pretty powerful, right? But like any good tool, you don't use it for every single job. So for our final chapter, let's talk about the most critical piece of the puzzle, knowing when to actually build one of these things.
This is the big question you should always ask yourself before using a new pattern. When is this the perfect tool, and when is it just making things more complicated than they need to be? Well, here's your cheat sheet. You want to pull this out when your system needs to create these families of objects that have to work together, just like our doors and experts. You use it when those objects depend on each other. And honestly, it's a huge help when making these things isn't a simple one-step process. The whole point is to make absolutely sure you never, ever get the wrong part for your kit.
But here's a final bit of advice, and I really want this to stick with you. This pattern is for managing complexity. Remember this, you don't build a giant complicated factory just to make one tiny screw. If you only need one simple object with no real dependencies, using this pattern is just massive overkill. Always make sure the solution fits the problem. So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with a question to think about for your own projects. What kind of kits, what families of related objects does your system need to create? Once you start spotting those patterns, you'll know exactly when this abstract factory can help you build things better and safer. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.